see how it goes. Now, I'm not going to lie, guys, going into my first game today, I was really concerned. This guy had Aguero and inform Lukaku, Rooney. That is basically as good as it gets for a Premiership team. Can you see any way he could improve that team?
No, I mean, I was just looking at that team and I'm thinking, you know what, it's good to come up against these teams. You know, you get a great sort of challenge. You need the challenge to really test your team out to see, you know, what's good and bad within your squad.
I'd have to agree with that, Matt, and it's certainly very satisfying when you do beat these teams, especially when you've got a squad that's on such low budget like myself. So when you beat these teams, it's a fantastic feeling to know.
Confidence.
And you just beat a team worth more than double your squad, because this guy had a really expensive team. Now we break through here with Sinclair, and check this out. Well, I mean, we did have the option to pass that into the box there, but we went for the shot. Maybe a mistake there.
I'll tell you what, though, looking at Aguero's first goal there, you know, he's good at everything. He's an all-round striker. You've got to have that in your team. Like, that poses a question. Who is the player for you who is, you know, the best in your team right now? Who's
fantastic question. I'm going to have to say, I mean, obviously, you all know I'm a big fan of Remy, and ever since Remy came into the squad, he has been the star for me. Not only just scoring goals, but off the ball, on the ball, creating chances even. Remy, for me, is fantastic. But bar Remy, you know, I'm going to say Bossing in the CDM. Sinclair's been fantastic, consistent. And that's what you need from these players, consistency. And that's what we've had. And that explains the 24 wins, 1 loss. Consistency. That is what you need out of your team, and that's exactly what we've got. Now, before we go into this next game, I really wanted to make some changes. I wanted to play Cattlemore in this game. Unfortunately, picked up an injury in the last game. Very disappointing, actually. I wanted to give Boateng a rest in this one, even though he's on 95 fitness. Now, Matt, 95 fitness. Would you play a player on 95 fitness?
I'd probably say anything below 90 fitness.
Right, okay.
I mean, you know, anything below that, you run the risk of injuring your players, and you don't want to be forking out for that,
but what if he's on 95 fitness and you've got another player to rotate with him?
I play 95.
Still play 95.
Yeah. If he's a good player, if he's solid in the team, you know, I would take that risk of playing the 95.
You see, I'm the other way round. I will rotate him. If he's on 95 and I've got a guy on the bench, I'll bring the guy on. You know, and maybe that's the secret to success. I don't know. Maybe it's OCD. But that is how I operate on this game. I've got to have everyone as fit as I can, as long as it's, you know, in my hands. So there we get the goal with Remy. A great, fantastic header. Gibbs running down the wing with the cross. Gibbs is certainly playing really well. In fact, everyone's playing well. Remy, that's really good play from Remy. And we've discussed Remy. Is he a Marmite player? He's a love or hate player. What do you think of Remy? Do you like him as a player?
I'll be honest, I've never really tried him, right? I've never really played properly with him. I've seen a lot of people say he's great. I've seen a lot of people say that he's just not great for them, you know? It's like me with a Barbo. Some people, you know, different play styles.
Yeah, it's different play styles work for, you know, different people. But Remy certainly fits my team really well. And by the way, Benteke in the first game, didn't really get on with him.
Dingsting player who could possibly fit into my team, guys, you know?
Can I just ask you a question, Matt? You're asking it in my goes, but for you know, your squad, who's been your star player? Who's that one player for you that's changed games?
That's an interesting question, because like you know, I've been swapping, I've been selling a lot of players, I've been very unhappy
and it often takes a lot of experimenting, doesn't it?
It certainly does, yeah. Okay, honestly, the player that's, you know, stuck by me, who I always nearly need on the pitch all the time, is Abate, that right back.
I thought you were going to say a Barbo then. It's like, hang on a minute,
no,
what were you saying?
He went, not a Barbo, no, Abate, you know, he's up and down the wings, his attack is great, and he really is fundamental to me winning any game that I win. So yeah, I'd probably say Abate. Now, let's talk about Gomez into the next game, but Gomez is looking really good, but we will expand on that after this game. So we win that 2-0, very comfortable win, guys. We're looking good, we got the win. Let's see if we can get closer to that next division. Then, guys, so getting into game 2 here, we're changing some players around, you know, we're putting our better players on the pitch here, and we are going to go with Sau and Melito up front for this game. Sau was a little bit quiet in the first game, but hopefully pairing with Melito might, you know, make him shine a little bit more.
And can I just ask you a question, Matt, about your squad rotation? Obviously, we're both in a position right now where, you know, we've got, let's say, 11 really top players, but I feel like with, you know, with the non-rare goal players, we've got some weak players still, even though mine are playing great personally. And now my question is, when you do your squad rotation, do you play one game with your best 11, then the next game with the weaker 11?
Well, you know,
or do you consistently every game mix that up? Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's something that's come into the team over time. I mean, I've just not been able to play my full best squad at the moment altogether, because the fitness is just too complicated to do that. But I do sort of have a mix, you know.
Mix it up.
It's sort of like a mix of sort of experience and, you know, new players kind of thing. So it's sort of like that. So yeah, you know, I do mix them up every game. Now this game here, guys, you know, I've I've always been saying, well, I've not always been saying, but a lot of time in this series I've said, you know, I've been very unlucky. Now, I feel that the luck was on my side for this game. I was struggling. I was getting absolutely hammered. Nothing was going on up top. You know, his midfield, I think he was a 4-5-1. He was absolutely dominating me. But we do get one break with Sao, and he does finish that goal. So Sao is looking good. You know, he was quiet in the first game, but he shone, and he got me the win today, 1-0. It was an incredible, you know, defiant win for me today. Let's get on into the conclusion, and let's see how the team is looking. Okay then, guys, so getting into this conclusion, we are currently in Division 7. We are a couple games off, 1 or 2 games off getting promoted into Division